Hi viewers, welcome to Gurudeep Edham Plus Coaching Institute. I am Deepika, C1 founder of Gurudeep Edham Plus Coaching Institute. Today we discuss about 100% sure mark in CBSE Class 12 Physics. There is a challenge of toppers, not only toppers, all the categories of students getting high secure mark in physics. Nowadays it's a very tough challenge. So here I am going to give tips. If you follow these tips, sure you can secure a center mark and sure 90 plus success mark you can get it. So kindly watch this video carefully, students. So already we know that in our institute all CBSE, State Board, ICSE, IB, NEET, JEE, all courses are available under one roof of our institution. So today's session 100% sure mark in CBSE Class 12 Physics. So part 1. So there are a number of parts we have. So this is exactly a 20 minutes video to get a centum to increase your scores. Okay, so watch these rules and note down these rules carefully to secure a 100% secure mark. So part 1. So outstanding topper mindset is very important. There are 3 golden rules we have. So you have to follow these 3 golden rules to get a centum. The NCERT is a god to all competitive exam. The basic book. Which book we have to follow? That is the NCERT book we have to follow for NEET and JEE. So NCERT is a god. So every question comes from NCERT lines. Each and every line they make questions and diagrams and tables and examples are very important. So this is a part under part 1 category. So NCERT lines, diagram, tables, examples and writing skill is equal to mark. So here I give tips. All categories of students after following this strategy, sure you also can get a 100 plus or 90 plus success mark. Okay. So writing skill is equal to mark, not just a knowledge. So numerical plus theory. So how do you get a secure mark? There is a numerical plus theory plus diagram which is give the full mark combo. So all categories, we cannot only focus on theory alone. So theory in CBSE board exam, theory 60 to 70% only, remaining 30% completely from numerical based and diagram based. So we have to focus on all the 3 categories, but very easily today I am giving a small tips to get a full mark in physics. So numericals, theory and diagram full mark combo. Okay, so what chapter is important? So which chapter you have to give importance to start your preparation? Everything I have to give. So don't worry, don't get any fear on your board exam. So you can get some. So CBSE check presentation plus accuracy, not over the knowledge. Okay, so that is the first thing. And part 2, the smart chapter priority. Smart chapter means which chapter contain more weightage. We have to start our preparation from that. So in that the particular questions in previous year when you check it, there are continuously some questions they are asking related to the question. Sure, if you have prepared that question based on that any kind of question if they ask, sure you can attend that question. So smart chapters priority you have to do, and marks oriented, that is high scoring chapters. So which contain the high score we can get it. So we have to pick that chapters. That chapters we never skip it. Okay, these chapters alone can give 55 to 60 marks. So averager can get this marks. Okay, so what are the weightage? High weightage to the low weightage. So hierarchical order we are arranged. So please visit electrostatic. Okay, the electrostatic, the 5-star. So it's a more weightage chapter. And the next immediate chapter, the current electricity, 4-star. And magnetic effect plus electromagnetic induction. It's 5-star. And alternating current, 3-star. And optics, both ray optics as well as the wave. So Wave optics, both content, it gives a 5 star, and dual nature is a 3 star, atoms and nuclei both, combine both the chapters, 4 star, and semiconductor. So that is a 5 star, you see. So weightage for the electrostatic, current, electrostatic, electromagnetic induction and magnetic effect, and optics, ray optics, wave nature, and semiconductor. So all this is the higher level high questions. Most of the question come from these 5 star under categories, and remaining, okay, we will see deep today, okay. And part 3, the perfect study method. Step by step process I am going to tell now to get a centum and 90 plus success mark. Please watch carefully. So the NCERT line by line studies, that's the step 1. So for your 1 mark, any line they can create some one word and assess and reason. So assess and reason, if you not understand the concept clearly line by line in NCERT book, you cannot give the sure answer which one is it, both options are correct or not. Assess and reason and case study, when you prepare your NCERT line by line, it will give a more mark in assess and reason as well as case study based questions. Okay. So next, first step, part 3, what is the success study method? The first step, NCERT line by line study. You just read it, understand it, and keep it in your mind, register in your mind, and read, underline the important and highlight the points, key points, every definition, law and condition, all the definition. What are the definition? You know that define questions is, and the law, Coulomb's law, Faraday's law. Okay, so electromagnetic first law, second law, so everything, law, all the definition you have to study, all the law. So in NCERT board exam question, sure one definition question will come, not only 2 mark. It may come under the subdivision way, they may ask the question in 5 mark also, okay. And some of the numericals they got added. So in 5 mark board exam question paper, in 5 mark they not exactly as the one detail or one differentiation, one numerical. There are some subdivision under one question number. So that subdivision, it may be definition or it may be the subdivision, give the law, write the law, and the condition you have to give 2 line or 2 condition. What are all the condition, dash dash dash, the condition based question they give. So you cannot skip the definition, law and condition question. Assumption must be memorized word to word. So the assumption word to word question you have to memorize. Example, the electric flux is defined as the surface integral of the electric field over a given surfaces. Now what is electric field? Electric field pi is equal to so that is electric flux pi is equal to E into dA. So the electric field and this is area. So this is the flux. The electric flux is equal to, it defined as over the surface area, there is a surface integral. This is not a closed integral. We should not keep O like this. So that is a closed integral. So there is a surface integral. So you may do some mistake. So that is surface integral of the electric field over a given surface area. So that either you just give in an equation or just you define it. So sometimes the student they may forget the equation. Sometimes some student they forget the definition. So at least one you have to write it, okay. So if you learn both the things, if anyone forget, you can write that, okay. Okay, the next strategy, we already discussed this, weightage. And step 2, the formula master. So we have our own formula sheet. We have all study material is available in our website as well as we have, you can contact anytime and you can get the sheet we have forward to you. So the step 2, formula master. The formula master file is very powerful. So make one formula notebook. So formula and the unit, not only formula and their unit, what is the unit of that equation and what are all the condition needs. So the question come under this. And one solved example per formula. So once at least one example question, at least one numerical problem they give solved example per formula. Revise this daily. Okay, revise it daily. Example problem from that one question sure it comes. So what is step 3? The numerical strategy, the full mark guarantee. So there are 50 to 60% there is theory, remaining 35 to 40% completely a numerical based question only for us. So the full mark guarantee when you focus on numericals. So the strategy we have to follow on the numericals. So substitution, answer with unit. If the numerical problem, if you know the formula, you just write the formula, substitute the value in this formula, and finally after solve it, you have to come to the answer, solve the answer with its unit. Okay, so then you can get, even it is a 2 mark or 3 mark or 5 mark, you can get a full mark. Okay, then you have to write the formula, substituting answer plus unit. Okay, final answer boxed it. So you have to highlight it, to put a box, and proper significant figures. So you for sometimes it's 0.00 like that. So you have to mark it out. So for significant figures in 11th standard, you know that. For example, the answer is come 4.8524422. So how long? Depending upon the given numbers. For example, the given number, for example, area 4.25 meters squared. So that is the, what is the significant figure? 3. And suppose they give that distance A is equal to 2.3 millimeter. So maximum, what is the minimum significant figure they give? So that minimum significant figure we have to follow to give the solution answer. So here till this at least 3 or at least 2 significant figure you have to leave. So the proper significant figure, even the final answer is wrong, method of mark you can secure. Okay, you can get a secure mark when you follow these numerical rules. Okay, next. So part 4, answer writing strategy. So answer writing strategy in CBSE, that is a CBSE secret. So how we project our answer with the para wise or page wise, even though you are writing it, but we are following a strategy. With this strategy if you are following, sure you can get with a short answer itself you can get a full mark. So that is the answer writing strategy, CBSE secret for 2 mark. Definition plus formula enough. So if it is a definition formula, for example, define Coulomb's law, you have to define what is the law of Coulomb's law and you have to write the equation. Okay, or reason, you have to give what is the sometimes the question may be in 2 mark the why the question comes, so you just give the reason, that what is the exact reason is enough. What is in 3 mark question, law, what law, if the same Coulomb's law question come for 2 mark means definition and equation is enough. But if the same question come under the 3 mark question, the 3 mark they have to allot, no, so how you have to think. So if they give 3 mark means how we can split the question according to them. So definition, the law you have to write and you just explain this law and finally you write the formula. So for the 3 mark, law and explain about this law and the formula. So for 5 mark, what is the 5 mark? What is? Follow this format strictly heading. The diagrams you should give. You need proper diagram you have to draw it in the 5 mark question. In 2 mark or 3 marks, sometimes, not sometimes, usually in 2 mark, 3 mark, 5 mark, all the places, the one diagram question sure it comes, so need clear diagram, so practice the diagram properly. Okay, even the arrow mark and up and down and where it start, where it end, and the proper complete diagram you have to draw. Okay, so follow this format to get a 5 mark. The 5 mark strategy, first draw the diagram is mandatory. for the 5 mark. Next you write the formula. From the formula you explain some points and give the conclusion. What is the conclusion? For example, Coulomb's law. Finally we end with the Coulomb force. And this Coulomb force, what it give when the charges are separated in a distance? What is the force when these the force between the two charges, when we keep it in a medium or keep it in a vacuum or in a air, how it differ, the conclusion part. And for example, the electrostatic potential due to point charge, dipole. So these are all the cases. There are these questions, they have some cases as a conclusion. So in cases when potential along the axis, along the equatorial, that is a conclusion. And when potential due to dipole, when it align along the axis, or theta 0 degree along the angle and theta 90 degree and anti-parallel theta 180 degree. This is the conclusion. This is a case-based question. That means case 1, case 2, case 3. So this is the conclusion of particular questions. There is a proper directly they give the conclusion. So this is greater, that is less. And we already know that electrostatic potential in a point charge and electrostatic potential due to equatorial line and axial line, which is greater. This comparison is very essential. This is actually the final equation. The toppers, I am talking to a toppers. After the final equation, you have to give the conclusion. Okay. And so what is for electrostatic potential or electrostatic field along the axial line? What is the final answer that you have to give? Okay. And opposite and it's 0 that you have to give. And draw the diagram thick. Okay. So you have to give the diagram. It should be visible. So you should not shrink your diagram. So for the 5 mark or 3 mark, anyway they ask the diagram question, please give it visible to the observer. Okay. The evaluator. So conclusion, you have draw the diagram big and clean labeled. Okay, so the parts in mirror equation as well as the Fizeau's method, Lenz law, brick questions, the pictures you just write it and give the proper label on it. Okay, so 30% of 40 marks are diagram based. In CBSE diagram based question, 30 to 40% question will come. So the strategy we have to follow for 5 mark question to get an exact 5 mark. What is the strategy? So diagram is mandatory, and explanation and the formula, explanation, conclusion about the final answer, and draw the diagram and with neat label. Okay. Okay. So follow the format. So this is the example. So the diagram is mandatory. So how we visibly draw this diagram? So this is like charges. This is unlike charges. How the arrow mark they are radially moving outward. The like charges. So here, how the arrow mark it start? You know that the electrostatic field, it start from positive charge and end at negative charges. And positive charges is moving outward. So you have to give outward direction. Okay. Here there is an inward direction. Okay. And here inward. Okay. So all the negative charges. What is the direction of electrostatic field? It's moving towards the charges. Okay, it's moving out radially outward. So follow this format strictly. Heading you have to write. So what question they are asking, you just write a heading, draw the diagram, formula, explanation, conclusion, and clean labeled it. Okay. And this is potentiometer. This is I give as an example. The potentiometer is already a related chapter. Like that, the diagram is how this like you don't need to draw, just a symbol. So for this potentiometer, you have just to give a symbol. For this rheostat, you have to give like this symbol. Okay. And for a ammeter, you just give the symbol like this. Okay. And for a battery, usually we have to use this symbol. And potentiometer. Here you can write a single line. And the key. How you mention the key? The key you mention like here. This is a galvanometer. Just you draw like this, and you have to plug in the key. So how you write blocking the key? Then just, okay. So this is blocking key, okay. And this is the way you have to draw the diagram. So the symbolic diagram is enough. Okay, what does it exist in your book? That is enough. The neat diagram. Oh, for example, convex lens. So convex lens, it is bulged. What is here? This is bulged outward. This is a concave. This is bulged outward. So if you keep the object beyond 2f, if you keep it, so the object, there are 3 rays. Usually we have to draw number of rays come, but here we usually draw 3 rays. Here they missed to draw the line. So this is the arrow mark. First parallel to the principal. This is the principal axis. So first ray which is parallel to the principal and converge at one point. And second ray it is passes through the center of the convex lens, and third ray optics lens, and the third ray which is exactly passes through the focal length. So and all these 3 they have converged, or they meet intersect at one point. That place the image started to appear. So that here when you keep the object beyond 2f, before the 2f, the back side of the next side of the convex lens, the image will be appear. It is inverted because we know that convex lens always give. So what is the nature? So how can we give the conclusion? So this is the size. You just see the size. The size is small. So what is, we have to mention what is the nature and size. So the size is small. Sometimes when you beyond the 2f, again the size is decreased. So the small, and what is the nature? Inverted. Which is real or inverted? The nature is inverted. Convex lens always give the inverted image. So final thing you have to mention what is actually the conclusion. So here it's what is the size, nature of the image you have to explain. So it is where it actually located. So location you have to say, and whether it is the sizes you have to mention, and nature, that means whether it is a real or inverted or erect or okay. So everything you have to mention. And for example here, this is a convex, there is an image formation by converging lens, again the convex lens. Suppose the object at beyond 2f like this. Okay, so how it all the rays parallel to principal, that is parallel to the principal, and one of the ray passes through the center and one of the ray passes through the focal point. Okay, on the 3 ray they have to converge. Here only the image will appear. Okay, so it started to appear. So depending upon